M3.
Welcome to the Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast, the #1 resource for automotive sales professionals, managers, and owners
M3.
to learn how to make money, accumulate wealth, and to all out ball out in the auto industry. And now your hosts, Sean V. Bradley and L.A. Williams.
1, 2, 3, 4,
M3.
Hey everybody, this is Sean V. Bradley, president of Dealer Synergy and the creator of the Millionaire Car Salesman Facebook group and the creator of the Millionaire Car Salesman podcast. And I'm here with the industry sensation, Miss Tiana Chanel Mick, aka T Got Your Keys. What's up, girl?
Hey everybody, super excited to be back on the show. Definitely not a special guest, right? Because I've been on a long time, but super excited to be on the show with you guys.
For sure. So here's what I want to do is I want to do things a little bit differently, T. I wanted us to, obviously we're live streaming in the Millionaire Car Salesman group. I want to share my screen and I want to kind of go through and look at the content and the posts and the questions that people are and talk about them live on the podcast. Okay. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to share my screen. And boom, here we go. All right. So first, let's kind of go through. I want to welcome, we just had 110 new members that joined the group. So we can't individually name everybody, but man, I'm super excited. I'm super excited and super proud that there's about 110 new members that joined the Millionaire Car Salesman Facebook group. And we just posted it this morning. Just wanted to welcome all the new members. So T, welcome the new members to the group.
Yeah, welcome everybody. It is a super mastermind group, so I'm super excited to have you guys on. Like Sean said, 110 people. It's so crazy. And we actually get, new members each and every day. So there's probably more people that already joined since posting that. So super excited to have you guys here. Thanks again for joining the most largest and interactive learning and educative automotive sales group on Facebook. Welcome.
Period. And also, do me a favor, if you are a member of the Millionaire Car Salesman group, make sure when you see us post on a weekly basis to the new members, just take a minute and jump on the thread and just welcome them to the community. Because the reason why our group is so good and so valuable is because we all interact with each other. We all share best practices and sharing each other's success. And also, if you are listening to this podcast and you are not a member of the Facebook group, you're missing out, folks, because we literally, I'm going there right now so people could see this. If you look at members right here, we are sitting at right now 24,357 members, which is insane. All right, so cool. Now I'm going to go back to the community home. So welcome to all our new members. We love that you're in the group. We appreciate you. We look forward to your first post. Okay, first thing here, Corey Burnett. Corey just posted 49 minutes ago. $18,000 on 21 cars in my first full month back after living the business for a year. Okay, so, and he posted.
That's awesome.
Hell yeah. This is why I love the automotive industry. So Tiana, kind of talk about that. How strong is that? The guy left the automotive industry for a full year, just came back in his first month back. He made $18,000 in personal income off of 21 cars. What do you think?
That's amazing. Yeah, I think it speaks volume, especially like you said, right? It's leaving the business for a year and then just coming back because you know what? I think he has a fresh mind. I think he has a fresh new state of mind. And he's like, okay, I've done car sales the way everybody's been doing car sales, right? Let me actually try to do something different. Let me, even if it's putting a little more effort, right? I know a lot of us, especially with New Year's resolutions, it's just, February is already beginning, right? And January is well behind us. But sometimes just having that fresh start or extra motivation of, you know what, I can do this is all people need, right? Because there's people that's been in the business for over, 20 plus years and they're not doing those numbers, right? But it's simply because, maybe, they have the candle lit at both ends, right? They're not really having that work-life balance. But Corey here, it looks like, persistence shows, obviously, because even taking a year off and then just coming back, he's 18K on 21 cars. That's, unbelievable.
All right, let's go to the next part over here. And a lot of you might not even know this in the group or on the podcast, but I started this Facebook group 5 years ago. In April of 2017. And this post I actually have featured here. It's, a girl named Dara Kenner posted. Just curious as to know how many years of experience we have in this group. And guys, this is insane. When you look at this under comments, it's going to take you a good 5 or 6 minutes just to open up all the comments that are in here. But what blows me away is just take a look, T, at all the members in the group. And look, so 8 years, literally 20 years, 6 years, 23 years, a year and 5 months, 3 months, 5 years, 33 years, general manager and 23 years, 8 years, general manager, 4 years, 5 years, 24 years, 3 years, 3 years, since 1994. I mean, like, it's going on almost 30 years, 18 years, 28 years, 42 years, 14 years, 6 years, 25 years, 12 years, 7 years. So if you look at this, a lot of the people in the group don't realize that we ask this question. So we know who's in this group. There are centuries, Tiana, listen to me, centuries and centuries and centuries of automotive experience, dealer principals, people that own 1 car lot, 2 car lots, 12 dealerships, 20 dealerships, 25 dealerships, 50 dealerships. We have dealer group owners in here. We've got general managers, GSM, F&I managers. What do you think about the experience level in our group and the amount of knowledge we have at our fingertips, T?
Yeah, it's in, I don't want to say it's priceless, but that's exactly what it is, right? It's priceless. There's nothing, and there's no other group. That's why I said we are the largest and most interactive group, right, on Facebook when it comes to automotive sales. So to just have, even half of those members, right? We have almost 25,000 members now, but even to have, we're at 24 now, let's say 12,000 members at their level of expertise, you can't find another free, right, social media group with that many years of experience. So it's cool to get everybody's insight. Mm-hmm.
So the reason why I'm saying this, guys, we're not flexing. We just want our members to know that inside of our Millionaire Car Salesman group, they're not a bunch of Greenpeace salespeople. Sometimes it might feel like that because there's a lot of basic questions because, this is an open, safe space. You got to realize that unfortunately, at car dealerships, there's too many times that there is no training, or the training sucks, or the training's outdated. There's absolutely no team building. There's no professional development. There's no personal development. There's no opportunity to kind of ask questions in a safe place because people are so busy, or they expect you to already know this stuff. So when I just want you to all know that there is a tremendous amount of high-level experience here. This is called the Millionaire Car Salesman Group because, first of all, there are so many millionaires and multimillionaires and centimillionaires. That means they own millions of dollars or $100 million in personal wealth. Now, why is that important? Because we're in the money business. We are in the, financial business. Yes, we sell cars, but there's so much gross profit and net profit that's theoretically able to be made. We want you to know as our members that there's so many people you could go to. If you're a dealer principal, you have other dealer principals to talk to. If you're a GM, there's other GMs. You're a GSM, there's other GSMs. If you're F&I, there's other F&I. If you're internet or BDC, there's other internet BDC. You could leverage the group's experience to be able to help you do things that you weren't able to do before. Okay, let's go into the next one. Mm-hmm. Alexander, he had said, so what is everybody reading right now, or books you recommend for growth and development? Okay, so Tiana, I see that you actually mentioned, what book did you mention and why?
So I actually mentioned The Secret by Rhonda Byrne because actually I was going to recommend Googleopoly, but a couple of people already recommended that. So I actually wanted to recommend something a little different. But for those of you that don't know, Sean V. Bradley actually is the author of the best-selling book, Winning the Game of Googleopoly. And if you scroll up, if you're on our Facebook page here on the Millionaire Car Salesman group, it's actually, like Sean said, one of the first questions. You can actually see the book there. But I recommended The Secret as well because it's actually also one of the books that we as dealer synergy trainers and consultants, we actually recommend the book The Secret as well, just because it is such a life-changing book, regardless of what career path you're in, right? Automotive or not automotive. Sean, I know, like I said, you instilled to us you know, to read this book, to even watch the movie. There's a movie on Netflix. I know they just recently took it off, but there's many free movie websites out there, right? So that's one of the books that I recommend, and I highly recommend for all of you guys listening still, is The Secret. And I don't recommend it once. It's kind of like, not to say the Bible to me, but I go back, there's scriptures in there. I reread it. I think, okay, these are, you know, my holy scriptures, I say to myself, and it did absolutely change my life.
So to go through this, one of our members, Alexander, asked what type of books. So kind of going through some of the answers that some of our members, like I had said, Googleopoly. I wrote an international best-selling book about Google and search engine optimization. Okay. And then he responded, he's ordering the book now. Tiana mentioned, you know, The Secret, which I'll get into, but then we have Nate mentioned Googleopoly, and then How to Sell 100 Cars a Month from Ali Reda and Damien Bordeaux. Okay. And then Jordan says 12 Rules of Life from Jordan B. Peterson. Never Split the Difference. Negotiate as if you were life dependent on it from Chris Voss. Andre said 7 Habits. If you're considering a career in sales and not just a job, it translates very well. Atomic Habits by James Clear. Tiana again with The Secret. So I'm going to say, for me, guys, these are my top books, and go through it. The number one book that I recommend is The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. It's an incredible book by Dr. Stephen Covey. It's about time maximization, organization, leadership, communication. And the synopsis is, how does a human being go from being dependent, codependent, to independent? And then the most important thing is, how do they go from being an independent person to practicing interdependence and synergy? It's one of the most impactful books. So that's The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Now, the book that Tiana mentioned, The Secret by Rhonda Byrne, is such a powerful book. It's so powerful that I made my family watch the movie time and time. Tiana, how old were you when the first time that you watched the documentary, The Secret?
I want to say I was probably like 10 or 11, maybe even younger.
Yeah. Yes. So again, that's an incredible book about the laws of attraction, the laws of manifestation. Basically what you put into is what you get out of it, but at a whole nother level. And Tiana said scripture. She didn't mean biblical scripture. She meant business scripture, metaphorically speaking. She meant it's priceless thoughts, practices, philosophy, and positive energy. It's a great book. Another book that I highly, highly recommend is Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Another book, first of all, The 7 Habits, The Secret, and Rich Dad, Poor Dad, all of my children read or listened to or watched the movie or documentaries for all them things. Rich Dad, Poor Dad is a great book that teaches you about finances, about money, about assets, and about liabilities, because in our industry, especially now, the last 2 years, T, a lot of these salespeople fucking making $18,000 in a month, $20,000 a month. This is not normal money. This is big money. But if they don't understand about money and investment, they're spending it on dumb shit. They're spending it on liabilities, not assets. They're not investing in themselves. They're not building their brand. They're not creating their own website. They don't have a marketing budget, a marketing strategy. They're just squandering all this money that they're making. Now, another book that I really, really, really love is going to be, and again, I'm going to bring your mom into this, my wife, who's the CEO of the company. One of her favorite books is Dale Carnegie's Win Friends and Influence People. You know what I mean? How to Win Friends and Influence People. It's a great book. Another book that my wife loves is From Good to Great from Jim Collins. Okay, very, very powerful book about, what the difference is from good to great, right? And there's another book, and I'll give you one more. And I'm thinking about this, which book do I want to recommend to you? I got to tell you, I love Cardone, man. I think Grant's really brilliant. Anybody that's got anything bad to say about him, I think you're crazy, because if you forget about his personality, which I think is fine, but I'm saying you might not be, like, my personality might not be for you either. But if you take his personality out of it, you've taken this out, like, how do you not respect somebody that went from being, broke, had a drug problem, had family problems, stuff like that, and build a $5 billion real estate empire, who was the reality TV show star for Discovery Channel's Undercover Billionaire. I mean, the guy has over $100 million worth of air transportation, 2 helicopters and a private jet. Anybody that's that successful, that started out as a car salesman and a car sales trainer, I would pay attention to, because he's doing something right in his life. He's really successful.
Absolutely.
All right. So you like those books, T?
Yeah. And I actually purchased Atomic Habits, I think, which somebody recommended. And
Yes.
my last book recommendation actually for everybody will be called The Source, which is actually, if you guys read The Secret and you're like, this is too feel goody for me, The Source is actually written by somebody that read The Secret, and they're a neuro scientist, and they're like, you know what, there has to be some kind of neurologically connection here, right? Like how we really manifest what we want, especially in car sales, like how we manifest, okay, I want 30 cars, and then actually applying it. So that book, The Source, actually shows you how your brain works with manifestation. So it's really cool. It's like one of my favorite studies is and for all of you listening, is because you guys are listening audioly, right? Is one of the studies they did was they made people think about working out, like not working out. They just thought about working out on their arms. Then group A thought about working out on their legs. Then group C thought about working out on their abs. And at the end of 6 months, without even working out, their brains actually and their body developed muscles in those certain areas without even working out, by just thinking, I'm working out on my arms right now. I'm working on my arms right now. So just think about every day when we're calling the customer on the phone and we're like, oh my gosh, I hope they don't pick up. I hope they don't pick up. What are they going to do, right? They're not going to pick up.
Right.
So imagine on the phone, right? Every time you pick up that phone call, you're like, you know what? This person's going to pick up. I'm going to set this appointment today. This person's going to pick up. I'm going to set this appointment today. And if they don't, that's fine, because you know why? It's called The Source. It's called The Secrets of the Universe, the Science of the Brain, because the secret is the secret of the universe. And the science of the brain is basically what she brings into it. It's whatever you think, even and do, obviously it has outcome.
So The Source, did anybody put that link into that page?
No, I can actually, I can add it.
Yeah, can you add that in? Because I didn't read that book yet, and you got me interested in that. I haven't purchased a book in, I hate to say this, a couple months. So, but I've been watching a lot of videos. But no,
and audiobooks, right? And audio and podcasts.
Yes, podcasts. Yes, I haven't read an audiobook in a little bit too. So I'm probably gonna get the audiobook for The Source. Send me that link in there for me, okay? And then I'll take a look at that. No, but T, that's amazing. I'm really excited. You just got me sold on getting that book. You better be getting a commission on that book, girl. I'm only kidding. All right, so let's go into the next question that's here. Okay, so we have a new salesperson. Oh, Callie. Callie says, "Hey guys, it's my first week by myself. Not training. All of the advice would be much appreciated." So again, you're brand new. So let's talk about advice for a new hire, T. Okay, so I'm going to go first. As a national trainer, I mean, there's so many different directions I go in, but first I'm going to say congratulations, Callie. Welcome to the most incredible industry ever in the United States. Why? Because a lot of people don't think that being in the automotive industry is sexy or fun. They definitely know there's money here, but let me just tell you this, and T, this blows me away. Name one athlete that's a billionaire 100% because of their athletic skills on a team. Do you know any?
I do not.
There are none. Okay. Not one athlete has become a billionaire because of their paycheck from their sports team. Now, there's athletes like LeBron James is a billionaire, Michael Jordan's a billionaire, but they've got it because of their other businesses and side business. Conor McGregor is not a millionaire. I mean, a billionaire, you know what I mean? But again, if he does become one, it's going to not be because of him fighting in the ring in the UFC. It's going to be because of his Proper 12, whiskey label and everything else he's got out there. But do you know, and let's go to the music industry. People think music, I mean, like, oh my God, the Jay-Z and Rihanna and Kanye West, not Kanye anymore, but Rihanna and Jay-Z are billionaires, but they did not make the $1 billion, mark because of their music sales, or hell, even the performing sales. It's, Rihanna's in the fashion industry. Jay-Z's got all these other businesses, from nightclubs to alcohol to, record labels to management companies to so many different things. But do you guys realize that there are so many billionaires in the automotive industry from selling cars? There's billionaires in the automotive industry from owning vendor companies and technology companies. There's billionaire manufacturers and things like that. So there's so many people in our industry that are making billions of dollars or are billionaires because of this industry that they're in. So there's so much opportunity. And what the best part about it, Callie, is what you put into it is what you get out of it. So if you go into work knowing that, man, I could build a tremendous amount of wealth, security, but I've got to build it brick by brick myself, you're going to be ahead of the competition, meaning every other salesperson in your dealership and every other salesperson in the country, because most salespeople wait for the magic up bus to come through. The majority of salespeople, what they're going to do is they're going to live off of the ups from the dealership, the floor ups, the internet ups, the phone ups, the service ups, etc. I am telling you, the best advice I could tell you is build your business within the dealership's business at first. Take as many ups as you can from sales, from service, from the phone, from the internet, from the lot, from the dealership, whatever. But what you want to really do is master the art of referral generation, master the art of prospecting or generating your own ups yourself, and then master the art of customer service and client retention and owner retention. So if you build a strategy for your previous customers, and I know you're new, so you don't have that many previous customers, if any, but as you get them, and then referral generation and prospecting. T, you were a high performing, successful sales consultant, at a Buick dealership, which ain't easy. So what advice do you have for her?
Yeah, especially just starting out, like you said, Sean, is getting in front of as many people as possible. And not only that, is working up their other skills that maybe other salespeople don't have, right? So a lot of salespeople don't really have a lot of phone skills, right? So get your phone skills up, start calling up your, even like friends and family, and try to sell them on like a movie or like that book that I told Sean, like try to make it like a game, just because a lot of salespeople, unfortunately, 90% of the time, the only way they're going to be able to get this person or this prospect in the door, Callie, is on the phone. And a lot of them aren't trained on the phones. And a lot of them don't even have scripts, or they don't know what to say, when the customers actually answer the phone. So that would be my first thing too, is start getting comfortable over the phone, start getting used to your voice, listen, record yourself on a video, watch it back. Do you like it? Do you not like it? See what you need to change, and just keep repeating. That's what actors do. It's what actresses do before they go on a role. They put their camera on and they just record themselves, and they do the line and scene about 10 times. They rewatch it, and just like any football player, right? You rewatch your plays, and eventually, once you're actually on that Super Bowl, once they are in the showroom, you're gonna sell the car. So I would say a big market that salespeople really miss is their phone skills. Really start looking up, or even us, Sean, we're a good resource, especially in the group. I like role playing when it comes to objections, rebuttals, and things like that. So that'd be my number one thing. Get better at the thing that nobody else is.
Hey, listen, here's what we'll do too. For all of our listeners, if you'd like a free strategy session on a role-playing exercise, me or my team will do it. We'll save this for the first 20 people that reach out. I mean, we can't do more than that. I mean, like, we just don't, we're trying to run a business. But what I'll do right now in LA, when he edits this live stream and makes it a real podcast, because right now it's not a podcast, it's just streaming in the Millionaire Car Salesman Facebook group. But when he converts this for the podcast episode, I'll have him add something in about like text free strategy session or free, phone coaching, just because Tiana, again, if you don't mind doing a role play, or Malik or LA does a role playing thing with somebody, I'll give somebody a free 30-minute, no strings attached. Like you could just use us to role play with, for free. For 20 dealers or 20 salespeople, all you got to do is in the comments right here, or if you're listening on the podcast, text the number LA is going to put in post and go from there.
Okay, so that number is 267-551-6279. Just text the word strategy to 267-551-6279. There you go, Sean.
But T, what I want you to do is this. I'm going to now go to the next thing. Go to the different people and tag them into this live stream. Like, for example, Callie, take her name and put this on the post for the live stream and say, hey, Callie, Sean and I responded to your post in our live stream and on the podcast, listen in, and then go back to the books and go back into every post that we've discussed so far. Okay. Let me go into the next question or the next post that's here. So that was from Callie. Okay. Next one is Manuel. Okay, so Manuel says, what was your average month last year and at what dealership? Thanks for the answers. Okay, so some of the people we've got comments were 8,000 Toyota in a town, Oklahoma 40K, 9.8 units Porsche. Okay, 23 units Honda at 15K, average 20, 30K a month last year, hitting 25 cars a month. That was Tommy. Okay, Billy. 240. Okay, Toyota Arkansas, 20 to 25 units per month. And Randy says 10,000 a month. Georgia says the average 18 cars a month last year and average about 12K a month. Sergio, again, is about 24 units, $20,400 in gross. So what it looks like here, there's about 12 answers. There's a lot of people that basically said there's a lot of people here. There's a lot of people that said they did pretty well. I'm just looking at this. Yeah. All right. So there's nobody that was really struggling at all. Okay. So now looking for advice on how to approach customers from the service department. So again, looking for advice on how to approach customers from the service department. So again, there's 55, comments, and this is where we should probably stay in just for a little bit. Buyer for car, no obligation options review, no obligation trade evaluation. Look at their service bill, and if it's a big break, break it down on why it makes sense to trade. Okay, that was from Justin. So again, guys, this is the post right here. It says a person named Joan says, looking for advice on how to approach customers from the service department. So Justin says, buyer for the car, no obligation, option reviews, no obligation, trade evaluation. Here, Ryan says, be honest. Hey guys, I'd love to sell you a car. Did you know most people are driving around with 20% equity and don't even know it? While you're waiting for service, would you be interested in doing an equity evaluation and see if it makes sense for you to upgrade? I find it way easier to sell when I'm honest with my intentions. Good luck. Keep us posted with your success. Okay. All right. Then another one right here is, from Edward. Once they hear the word sell, they immediately say no, they want to keep their car. Okay. How's that going for you? Honestly, it has served me well personally and professionally. So they're just responding to the thought here. Here's one. Virginia says, advice for doing this with Volvo customers. There are a whole different demographic from what I'm used to, i.e. Mazda, Honda, etc. So she's just saying, hey, look, what's the advice for me? Vince says, simply say hi and start basic conversation. They will ask you if they have any interest in the new car, and then you can open the door for looking into options for them. Chanel says, a million ways to go about it. Honestly, depends on the way you sell. I would always hop on the ones in the waiting area, ask them if they need anything to start small talk, and worked up to, hey, it never hurts to get a price on your vehicle to see where you stand. They are typically waiting anyways and here to do, and they're doing nothing. Another one is find a service writer that smokes, always go smoke with them, make a friend, and they'll feed you customers with large repair bills and customers that mention they should probably just have a new one, okay? Befriend a service provider and get advisor and get them tipped off on customers with hefty bills and no warranty coverage, a long repair times. Be sure to bird dog them on the ones you sell as to say, thanks for the introduction. Get a hold of the service appointments the day before, call them and ask to give them a quote on an upgrade when they come in.
I think all these are super amazing.
Yeah, I would say the same thing to go from there. And again, guys, let me kind of go through this right here, because I could just go through, and we're going to kind of close out on today on this. Is that what we are doing today on this podcast and this live stream is a little bit different. You know what I mean? Like, we talk all the time, right? So you talk and talk and talk and talk. What I wanted to do today is I wanted to just spice it up a little bit. I wanted to just go and see what the most recent posts were, comments, and things like that. So here's my piece. I'm going to give Tiana an opportunity, and we'll close out today a little bit early, right? Okay. Service is important. Here's why. NADA says that a service customer, ready for this, is 7 times as likely to purchase a vehicle from when they service their car from. Fact one. Okay, so I want to try to reach those people because I have a much, much higher closing ratio than anything else. There's nothing that's going to give you a higher closing ratio than working with the service customer that's already servicing from you before. Now, there's different levels of service. That's what people are confused about, or they don't know. You can't be confused on what you don't know, right? So there's confusion or there's lack of knowledge on this. There's different categories. I'll give you an example. There is a service customer that's categorized as service unsold. What that means is there are a lot of people that service their vehicles at your dealership that have never purchased a vehicle from your dealership before. Not because they're evil, just because they already have a car, whether it's a new or used car, and they just happen to service with you because you're local or because of referral for whatever reason. So think about this. There is a database at your dealership with thousands of people probably that service and have serviced sometimes for years and years and years, and their friends service and their family services, but you've just never sold them a car. Why the hell not? Because there's nobody tasked and responsible and held accountable at the dealership to work these specific unsold service customers. And that strategy would be different. In my opinion, you could have an automated strategy through automated emails, automated text messages, right? You can have a call strategy, a manifest strategy, right? Which means that you're going to call them and try to have a conversation for them before they come in, or you have an in-person strategy. Once they come into the dealership, whether they walk in or they have an appointment, if they're flagged as an unsold service customer, that you would be able to have an opportunity to engage when they're there. That's one category. Here's another category: orphan owners. What does that mean? That means that you have service customers of people that their salesperson no longer works there, and they're either lost in the Bermuda Triangle or the black hole or whatever analogy you want to give, because nobody's really following up with them, right? And who are we kidding? Most salespeople don't even freaking follow up with their prior customers the right way. So you really think that the orphan owner is handling it the right way? Probably hell to the no, right? So that's an opportunity right there. And then you've got the cool category, are actual service customers of your clients that purchased a vehicle. You already have a freaking relationship with these people. So now there's different strategies. We heard a couple of them. One is there was a couple ones that would be, here's what to do and how to engage. It's called like a cold call or a cold introduction. It means you just walk in the service department in the mornings and up the people there and just start a conversation. Now, there's different levels of that. There could be just random. I have no strategy. I'm just saying hello and starting from there. Or almost every dealership knows who's making an appointment. You follow me? There's almost every dealership knows who's making a service appointment the day before. You know what I mean? Like, so for example, today is February 6th. Tomorrow is February 7th. I believe every franchise dealer and a lot of independent dealerships know the majority or all the people that are scheduled for their service department appointment tomorrow. So what you can do is before the appointment. So today, you could get prepared for all the people that are coming to the dealership. You could categorize them. You could say, okay, who are unsold service customers? Who are orphan owner service customers? And who are my service customers, if there are any? You could even identify before they get there who has equity, who doesn't have equity, who's got a vehicle that's a hot car that we don't have in stock, and it's hard to get or impossibly in stock, that 50 million people are calling me about or emailing me about. And you could create a strategy that way. So that's another direction. Another direction is working with the service writers. Again, working with the service writers. And once we work with the service writers, then what? Okay, then that's a whole strategy there. How do we incentivize them? How do we get leads for them, etc.? So my point being, folks, there's a lot of different ways to do this. These are the free advices on service. If you want more, we have Bradley on Demand. Bradley on Demand is a video on demand training, tracking, testing, certification program. And in it, it's like an online university. We have 8,000 modules. We have the largest training library in the world in any country by far. We have over 8,400 modules, over $7+ million I spent on building this platform out. We have an entire section, not only on the road to the sale, showroom sales, but the 8 ways to sell. The 8 ways to sell for a showroom salesperson is walk-in spots, which is the road to the sale pretty much, right? Be-backs. Then it's going to be internet ups, phone ups, service conversions, and everything I just talked about right here. Plus it's, prior customers, orphan owners, referrals, and the lost order prospecting. So if you need help in one or all those areas, Bradley on Demand or Dealer Synergy can help you. So again, if you want a free strategy session, holler at your boy, holler at your girl. But T, what do you have, if anything, for service?
Yeah, just because I'm also kind of a person where I definitely need something to say. I don't want to just walk in there not knowing what I'm saying, especially, even Callie, like one of the newer sales associates, just joining the business. But one of the things that I actually did, and it was like super, super cheap, was, I'm not sure if you guys have what it's called in your area. We have Dollar Store, we have Family Dollar, we have Dollar General, your local dollar store or that 99-cent store. Well, now it's $1.06, right? But I would just go to the dollar store and they have packs of little tiny gift bags. So it'll be 10, 20 gift bags. So I'll get 20 gift bags for $2. I'll get at the dollar store, they also have mass amounts of candy, gum, hand sanitizer, little travel tissues, different things. So I would actually spend about $50 and I would actually make, I want to say about 100 goodie bags, because with $50 at the dollar store, you're getting a lot of stuff, right? And I would even make kitty goodie bags. And I would actually just, if I noticed there was a lot of people in the service department and I was just kind of nervous, I didn't want to literally go in empty handed, I would actually make these service bags and I would go in and if I specifically saw there was a child, I would make sure that I had a little kid one, because the dollar store has these little coloring activities and things like that, which the parents will absolutely love. If you walk into the service department and you're giving a child, something to do, and the parent no longer has to really be that attentive, oh my gosh, you're going to look like the superhero, right? You're going to save the day. So making those goodie bags to just go in there, and I would literally just be like, hey guys, I just wanted to say thank you so much, regardless if you purchased with, us here at ABC Motors or not. I just wanted to give you guys a little goodie bag from the goodness of my heart. Just because, again, you could service your vehicle anywhere, but you decided to come and service your vehicle here. So I would actually make those goodie bags, and not only would I leave them or give them to people in service, I would actually leave those goodie bags in customers' cars that I delivered cars to. So those goodie bags are, can be used for anything. But I was just one of the tools that I would use when prospecting or just even talking to people, in the service drive, is I would just walk in with one of my goodie bags and I would look like the hero, or I would just look like I'm just, a kind person just dropping off a little treat. But it's just basically, a door opener, right? It's an icebreaker. But if your person's kind of like, similar to Sean, that really doesn't need kind of like that physical icebreaker or anything like that, then obviously we have phone scripts and we have training that goes on those lines. But I'm personally a person that I like to kind of give and then, ask to receive something after. So I would give a little gift and then I would say, hey, do you mind if your car is in service? I would actually go and take a look and see what your car would be evaluated at. Like I said, it's just that little ice opener. So that would be one of my tips to you, especially if you're starting out new, or anybody actually in sales, because I don't see a lot of people doing that enough.
I love that. And T, didn't you also do like the custom donut boxes for T Got Your Keys?
Yes, I was going to mention that, but I know we mentioned that in earlier episodes. But Sean, if you wanted to reiterate what I did as well.
Yeah. I'm gonna share my screen again. So this is what Tiana did. Is if you go to Google right now and you type in custom donut boxes, see Tiana had her own brand, and her own brand was T Got Your Keys. Her website's still live, even though she's not on the front lines anymore. So T Got Your Keys. Hold on. There, you got to talk. Your website is not showing right now, but she's got a website called tgotyourkeys.com. and she's got her own brand, her own logo, her own colors. And then she went to these companies and she got, I think it was this one, I forget which one it was, but she had her own boxes of like drinks, like coffee cups, as well as donut boxes. And what she did is she put her logo on them, and she'd walk into the service department, and sometimes they had coffee, might have been like basic coffee. Like she had like gourmet coffee she brought in. She put, bagels in sometimes she had donuts sometimes. And what I thought was really freaking cool is that, watch this, during the pandemic, custom individual donut packages, which I thought was brilliant. I'm a dumb guy. Yeah, see this right here? This is what she bugged me out on, is because think about it, during the pandemic and people didn't want to touch anything, just having an open box with food that you got to stick your hands in, like people didn't want to do that. So as you see here, she got a bunch of individual donut boxes and individual donut packaging, and she just brought them all there at a macro level. So again, what she did was she had her brand, T Got Your Keys, donut boxes, coffee cups, snacks, goodie bags, etc. It was T Got Your Keys, T Got Your Keys, T Got Your Keys. She was building her brand within the dealership. She spent her own money on the coffee, the donuts, the goodie bags, etc. And so the dealership had no problem with putting her brand in, because she worked at the dealership. The dealership was getting free stuff and getting a salesperson to get off her ass and actually do stuff. So kudos to you, T. All right, now, Tiana, is there anything you want to end the podcast with? With the trajectory we're going through, any other advice on success, tips, anything?
I kind of just want to circle back to like that first question, right? Or not even that first question, is that like first congratulatory to that person that actually took a year off in sales and went back and is actually killing it more than ever, right? I think a lot of us, we need, regardless if it's every year, every month, every day, it could be every 10 minutes. You can give yourself a fresh start, right? So I know sales is super frustrating, especially when you're working bell to bells and you're not, with your family, you're not with your friends, you're not really doing anything you really like at all. But just giving yourself that reminder that you can take a step outside, take a step back and give yourself that restart. You don't need a new month. You don't need a new year. You don't need a new hour. You are your limit to when you need your fresh start. So, congratulations to that one person that, he took a year off, right? And then he came back and now he made $18,000 in 1 month and 21 cars. Like, that's unbelievable. I'm sure if you told him, a year ago, hey, take a year off, and when you come back, you're going to be better, he'd be like, absolutely not. Like, I know the only way I'm going to get better is if I grind, and I grind. But sometimes, guys, that's not what it is at all. Sometimes you just need to take a step back. I'm sure he reevaluated how he was selling cars, what he was doing, and just reevaluate, reset yourself, like I said, and then just go at it. You don't need a new month. You don't need a new year. Every day can be a new year resolution, right? Quote unquote. So let that be my message to you. And if you need to take that year off, go ahead. If you need to take that 5 minutes off, go ahead, but get back to it.
I love it. Hey, folks, again, this is Sean V. Bradley, president of Dealer Synergy and the creator of the Millionaire Car Salesman Group. Please follow me on Instagram at Sean V. Bradley, Twitter at Sean V. Bradley, Facebook at Sean V. Bradley, YouTube, Sean V. Bradley TV, and of course, follow the Millionaire Car Salesman on Instagram, all over the place. T, how and where should people follow you and T Got Your Keys?
Yeah, so I am Tiana Mick, also known as T Got Your Keys, and you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, on both Tiana Mick or T Got Your Keys. I have, kind of like you guys, I'm sure, or should hopefully have a personal and a business, right? And then I'm also on TikTok. So if you need any ideas of what content and stuff that you should be posting, go follow my TikTok, T Got Your Keys. I have a viral post that has over 2.5 million views. I sold over 10 cars immediately off of it. So definitely take a look at that, and maybe we can talk about more about TikTok if you guys like that. So thanks again. Follow me on all those socials. And thanks again for listening to the Millionaire Car Salesman podcast.
All right. And thank you very much. I appreciate everybody. Take care. Tell everybody about the group. We want to grow the group, get to 25,000 elite mastermind members. I'm out. Take care.
So there you have it, the Millionaire Car Salesman podcast. This podcast comes to you every week from the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. If you have a question about the show or would like the chance to become a guest, feel free to contact us directly at 856-546-2440 or email us at millionairecarsalesman@gmail.com. This program is a presentation of Synergy Records, produced by Tiana Mick and L.A. Williams. Production and engineering by L.A. Williams. The Millionaire Car Salesman podcast is hosted every week by L.A. Williams and the Millionaire Car Salesman himself, Sean V. Bradley. The Millionaire Car Salesman podcast can be found everywhere, so please don't forget to review, subscribe to, and share the show. Thanks for listening to the Millionaire Car Salesman podcast, and remember, where I'm from, money provides options. If you enjoyed this podcast, then make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and leave us a review. Let some other folks know about it. Oh, and don't forget to join the Millionaire Car Salesman group on Facebook. We'll see you there.